Etapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Qesankh Keparu with another video for you. In this video, we're going to talk about is BLM a fraud organization? But before we do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also, if you want to know more about my spiritual teachings, you can scroll down below and click on the links to download a free ebook. You can start reading it today. If you want to take your spiritual journey to the next level and follow that rabbit down the rabbit hole, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. You can cancel at any time. There's no obligation. You'll get exclusive access to instructional videos on the esoteric, on the spiritual, videos that'll teach you how to meditate, proper breathing exercises, how to create an amulet, how to invoke a spirit, how to contact the ancestors, how to do divination oracle readings. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get this revolution started. So Haru Nefer, let's talk about something that's very, very important to the African-American ADOS, Foundational Black Americans community. And that is our organizations, which seem to have gone rogue. You know, there is just so much going on in terms of misappropriation of funds, organizations not really being what they pretend to be, or not sticking by their mission statements or their agendas. So let's go into that. But before we do, I just want to take a moment to just get a little serious right now, to talk about trolls. So, you know, there has been, I'm not sure if many of you are privy to this, some trolls who are trying to cast aspersions against my character. And they're not going to be successful. They're not. Whenever you start to reach a certain level of popularity, you have these individuals come out, and I don't like to use the term haters, but they come out, they dox you. They come out there and they start putting information there about your past and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't like, I don't, you know, like, your past doesn't equal your present, in other words. So I want people to understand that no matter where you come from, we're all cut from the same cloth. So it's not so important what you did in the past, but it's what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? And when you're a YouTube personality, when you come on YouTube, you are open to criticism, which I totally get and understand. But some people take it too far by posting photos of you, doxing you, spreading malicious lies and rumors. Well, in this case, and I'm, you know, as a spiritual person, I'm open and honest about my background. You understand what I'm saying? I don't hide anything. You know, even if you look at the history of our civil rights activists, such as, say, for example, Malcolm X, who was a drug dealer, a pimp, but he turned his life around. Not that my past is as lengthy as that, you know, but there's some things in my past that I am not proud of, and I've never made an attempt to hide them. I want you to know that I've talked about, you know, the fact is I was a dating coach. And no shame there. I help people, and I love bringing people together, men and women. You know what I mean? Time Magazine did something on me, which I wasn't very happy about. You know, they did it without permission, which was very interesting. And they posted a photo of me without my permission, and I could have taken legal action against the woman who took the photograph, but I didn't care. I was like, all right, well, I'll just let it go. Because I always try to take the higher road and be spiritual about these things. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get vindictive. I never do rituals against people. You know, I think that's just ridiculously low. I don't do things like that. You know, I always feel as though the universe will deal with them in its own time. You know what I mean? And let me explain something to you. The best thing that you can do to get back at your enemies is to be the best version of yourself. When your so-called enemies or people who you thought were your friends see you styling and profiling, it makes them realize, or they come to realization that they've lost. because number one, they can't get to you. You're not getting emotionally upset, you know. Number two, you have risen above that and become a better person. You know what I mean? And I'm not, you know, I don't really get into the whole YouTube community thing, but there was a situation that recently happened with young Pharaoh, and YouTube apparently took his video down, and he did a video about that. It was a little bit emotional, and I can totally understand that. I mean, you've built up an audience, and now suddenly YouTube just pulls the rug from under you. But just be peaceful and be powerful, and you will be victorious. You know, so not to say that I'm in anyone's corner, but I'm just saying as though I understand when things happen and a person can get emotionally upset. Now, I could have got upset over this situation, but unfortunately, the rumors that they're putting out are absolutely true. So I don't hide from it. And, you know, so let's and I think the best way to deal with it is for me to take control of this narrative. See, they're out there running with this and posting the photos of me, of what happened in the past, and they think they're doing something, but now I'm going to post those same photos here for you to see. Therefore, now this empowers them. They have nothing to post anymore because I've already beaten them to the punch. I've posted this myself. So, you know, it was when I posed nude for a magazine. So I'm going to just show you the photo up front so you can see it firsthand. No shame in it. I was young and I needed the money. And there you go. Here I am. It's for a Gerber baby commercial. Yes, I pose nude. Okay. You know, do I regret it? Yeah, I do. You know, is it my proudest moment? No, it's not. You know, am I ashamed of it? Maybe, you know, but hey, when you're broke and you're an artist and you need money, you do stupid things, you know? So I made the decision to, you know, Gerber approached me and I told them yes. And I said, I would appear in your nude if it was a tasteful photograph. So, you know, this will stop those trolls from posting things about me in the photos. You know what I mean? So they're disempowered now, so they can't. There's nothing they can do now because, you know, like I said, I've actually taken control of the narrative away from them. So, oops, sorry. Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay. Y'all didn't see that one, okay? You weren't meant to see that one. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So we could just stop the rumors, stop the talk about me posing nude when I was younger. And there you go. You can see firsthand the photograph. The photographer lived up to his word. He did a very tasteful black and white photograph. Didn't show too much. I got a little check out of it. I bought a couple of rattles and bottles, but that money didn't go too far. I was broke again, but I didn't appear nude anymore. That was the end. I stopped it right there. You know. So okay, let's move past that now. Can the trolls stop talking about what I did? I'm not ashamed of it. All right, so let's just keep it moving. Let's keep it moving, people. All right. Now, let's get down to this, all right? Let's get down to this. I think it was about a year and a half ago, I had warned people about Black Lives Matter. I actually did a video on it where I talked about where they got their funding from and how much money they were spending, which was absolutely zero on the Black community. And now it's just recently come out. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. That the founder, and here we have it, I'm going to increase the size for you. And we will read a little bit about this. BLM founder is branded a fraud after buying a 1.4 million home in an upscale, mostly white enclave in LA. Patrice Cullors, 37, has bought an expensive property. The district in which the BLM founder will now live is 88% white and 1.8% black. BLM brought in $90 million in donations last year. They have revealed that. A Black Lives Matter co-founder and self-professed trained Marxist has raised eyebrows by purchasing a 1.4 million Los Angeles home in a largely white district. Patrice Cullors, a 37-year-old artist, organizer, and so-called freedom fighter, because I'm putting that there, has bought a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house in Topanga Canyon, complete with a separate guest house and expansive backyard, reports. The home is described in the real estate listing as having a vast, great room with vaulted and beaming ceilings. Isn't this something? I mean, what? Here she is, I believe. Patrice Cullors seen accepting Glamour's Woman of the Year in 2016 award, has a new home. Do you understand how atrocious this is? Do you understand how absurd this is? For an organization which pretty much came out of nowhere, pretending to be for Black people, specifically behind police brutality and the assaults on young Black men by the police, to campaign across the country and become a global movement. And how much have they raised so far? Well, let's take a look at how much they raised in total so far. So it looks like, let me just get this right. Now we got to be correct on this. $10.6 billion was given to Black Lives Matter causes. Where did the money go? Where did that money go? Following the police killing of George Floyd on May 25th, the message Black Lives Matter appeared on signs and protests across the world. Streets were painted with the words, and they were one of the top searches on Google for 2020. Major corporations adopted the slogan to show their support, which is basically virtue signaling, in the fight to end injustice. And with all of the exposure came media donations to Black Lives Matter as a grassroots group that popped up in 2013. Thanks to George Soros. Public support for Black Lives Matter movement was at an unheard of 67% in June, according to a Pew researchers. BLM-related causes pulled in more than $10.6 billion in donations, according to The Economist. Not much is known about how the money is being used. The organization's founders, 3 Black women, Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi, has been accused on social media of not sharing a single cent with the Black community. That is accurate. They have not given a single cent to Black people out of the $10.6 billion that they have raised. Not all going directly to Black Lives Matter, but to causes for Black Lives Matter. But out of that money, no Black individuals or organizations have received any of it. Do you hear me, my beloved? Do you hear me? Let's go deeper. Let's take a deeper dive, okay? Let's take a deeper dive. We know in total they raised $10.6 billion, but let us look at something that's deeper. Black Lives Matter raised more than $90 million in 2020. Group opens up finances, says it hopes to focus on economic injustice in 2021. The foundation, widely seen as a steward of the Black Lives Movement, says it took in just over 90 million last year, according to the financial snapshot shared exclusively with the Associated Press. The Black Lives Global Matter Network Foundation is now building the infrastructure to catch up with the speed of its funding and plans to use its endowment to become known for more than protests after Black Americans die at the hands of police vigilantes. I blame us. I blame us because these three women are agents, Marxists, lesbians, who put on their website their mission statement, their agenda. And what was that agenda? To break up the Black family. Am I lying? No, I am not. They said that they're against the nuclear family and the heterosexual male. And they took it down quickly when people started to notice. But yet everybody out there is running around with BLM t-shirts and caps and face masks, and no one bothered to do a simple Google search to find out their mission statement, to find out who was bankrolling this group that came out of nowhere in 2013, George Soros. Why is he bankrolling a group of three women, Marxist lesbians? Because you introduce the LGBTQ lifestyle to the Black community, you decrease their population. You then have them become a political powerhouse to attack heterosexual Black males, to emasculate Black males, and to push the LGBTQ agenda. Now, do I have any problems with my gay, lesbian, transgender, or whatever brothers and sisters? Actually, just to take a detour, one of my favorite stars is Divine. And I don't know if you know Divine. Divine was he's a man dressed as a woman, was in Hairspray. Divine kicked ass, and so one of my favorite musicals is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love that film. But anyway, I digress. Here you have three agents who come into the Black community under the guise of BLM, rape it for finances, and uses that to push forth an agenda of depopulation. Again, let me clarify. Just because I oppose BLM and its founders does not mean I have issues with the LGBT community. I have no issues with them. If you're gay, I have no issues with you. I understand how some people may not like people of the LGBTQ community, but I ask you not to get emotional, not to hate them and get upset at them. Just in the same way, you shouldn't get upset or hate me because I'm so pretty and attractive, but I digress. We as a community has allowed these frauds, these agents to come in and then take money out of our community. How in the hell do you raise $10 billion and not 1 cent goes to the Black community? Not 1 cent. Cent or cents. They have no sense. Get the pun? This is just beyond words. And then have Patrice, the founder, go and buy a home for $1.4 million in a predominantly white community. Are you serious? Every African American, ADOS, foundational Black American should be getting upset and getting their torchlights like they did with Frankenstein and going after BLM. We've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. She goes and buys a $1.4 million estate in a predominantly white community. Are you? If I had 1.4 million, first off, me and Holly Berry going on a date. All right, wait, I digress. But anyway, if I had 1.4 million, first thing I would do is set up a Black Silicon Valley to train young black men and women to get into the tech industry and dominate it and take it over. You can be certain if I had $1.4 million to buy a house, which I wouldn't buy a house for that much, it would be in a predominantly Black community. They're very affluent Black communities that you can become a part of. Not sure why she picked a white community. The masses of Black people are asleep. We're not paying attention to what's going on. This organization, when it came along and posted on this website that it wasn't for straight Black males, that it had an agenda to break up the Black family, we should have known what was up. Now, the plot thickens. BLM says they're going to give away $1,000 to Black people. All you have to do is apply. Did you guys know that? It's going to give away $1,000. Truth seeker. Truth seeker. I just told you where you can find their mission statement. It's on their website. Please go to their website. Just type in Black Lives Matter. You see nothing is hiding from us. It's right in plain sight. You don't have to ask me for their mission statement. Just go to their website and look. Where was I at now? Anyway. So anyway, the one truth seeker. Well, giving the $1,000 away is actually not the insult. I haven't gotten to that yet, but I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. You can get $1,000 from BLM. I'm going to give you the website so you can apply. But here's the kicker. In order to get the money, they're going to first prioritize giving what they have in their cash flow or whatever the amount of money they allocated to give the $1,000 out, because they've only allocated a certain amount of money to give out $1,000 to. But who's going to get that money first? They're going to prioritize giving the money out to the LGBTQ community. So If you want to get the money, the first people that's going to get it are members of the LGBTQ community. Now, let us not forget that African Americans in this country represent what, 12% of the population? And members of the LGBTQ community represent maybe what, 2.5%? 2.5%? So obviously our needs outweigh their need of 2.5% because we're 12% of the population living below the poverty line. If that is not telling you what this organization is about, oh, I'm sorry, Truth Seeker. So I kind of mentioned it. I said that in the mission statement, they said that they are not for the nuclear family and that they're not for the, they see the heterosexual black male as the problem, or heterosexuality as a problem. So they took that verbiage down. And of course, you know, nothing really is deleted off the internet, so it's saved somewhere. So you just have to, you know, you have to go find it. You know what I mean? So just try to look and see. It's up there. It's still it's cached up there somewhere. So can you believe that? An organization last year that raised $90 million decides to give away $1,000 to black people, I guess in some form of reparations, but is going to prioritize that among a privileged few, the LGBTQ community. Not that they're privileged. I'm not saying that they're privileged, but to give it away to that to them is a slap in the face and a betrayal of what BLM means. Black. Give it away to all black people. Do not separate between male, female, gay, straight, transgender. Give it away to all black people. But that's okay because now you understand what they are about. So if you guys fancy yourself as being gay, or you want to pretend to be gay to get the $1,000, by all means, go ahead. BM Lab. If that's what you want to do, you know. BLM launches survival fund with $1,000 grants for people struggling amid pandemic. Lord have mercy. All right, where are we at here? I'm having trouble with this website. This is shoot, where's the article? It's giving me some problems here. Stop it. All right, it's bringing up everything but what it should. I just had it up there. But anyway, you saw the headline of what they are, it's weird, of what they're doing. And what I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters, of all persuasions, stop being duped by these organizations, by individuals that come along and say they're for the black movement. Black Lives Matter could have taken that $10.6 billion and set up a legal defense fund for black people, black males, black females. They could have set up a tech industry for black people to get into. They could have set up schools, black schools, with $10.6 billion. Instead, they took that money, and now no one has an understanding of the accounting of where that money has gone. And not 1 cent of it has gone to a black scholarship, a black legal defense fund, black grants. None of that money has gone anywhere. The most we've seen is this $1,000 giveaway to the LGBTQ community. Hey, Mike, I don't know how they'll know. I guess they're going to ask you to do the KISS tests. I don't know, to be honest with you. That I don't know. That's a good question. They may go, okay, Mike, you want $1,000? Kiss Qesankh. You know, I don't know, man. You got me on that one. Maybe we should read more into that Times article and find out, like, if there is a kind of like a gay test or something. I don't know. I'm not being funny. I'm not, because it's not a funny thing where money is not going to the people who need it most. And we've been fighting for reparations, and this organization funded by George Soros has come out of nowhere, pretended to be for all Black people, and now is exclusively for a certain segment of the population that's not Black people. So I find that very, very interesting. You see, let me explain something to you. Every race on this planet has gotten into, whether it be agriculture, fiber optics, technology, construction, every race has gotten into a business, and when they have been successful, have locked it down so no other race can get in it, so that their people could survive and thrive. BLM could have taken that money and put it into a business, like I said, maybe technology, because that's where the future is, and trained young African Americans to dominate that industry in the same way that India set up their own tech industry. And that's what it is, Michael. It's a bait and a switch. It's a Trojan horse of what they did. I want you guys to take a look at what I am doing, all right? With not even close to $10 billion, you know, and yes, this is a commercial for my program, it's Six Figure PM. This is my tech company, Raw Force Tech Training Academy, where I'm training people to be PMs, because the digital project management arena is dominated by white people. So, and there's an opportunity here for ADOS, African Americans, foundational Black Americans, to get into this industry and dominate it. So I've taken what little I have, which is not close to anywhere near $10 billion, to facilitate the construction of a Black Silicon Valley here in Las Vegas, to train our people in this field, specifically this field of digital project management, so that you can go in, get a job, and earn six figures coming out. And to deal with the education problem, where they complain of things like the bell curve and us not being as intelligent as us, intelligent as them, in this fraudulent education system that they have, I put together a program within the Six Figure PM on super learning. So you can learn things quicker. The reason that people in Silicon Valley are learning things quicker and coding faster is because many of them are on either nootropics or LSD. Everyone should sign up for this program, because we need to get into tech and dominate it. This is the future, people. How could I, as an individual, take what little money I have to try and build a Black Silicon Valley here in Las Vegas, but Black Lives Matter take $10.6 billion and not do a damn thing with that money? There are three things that they should have did with that money. Number one, started a technology training academy. Number two, start a school. And number three, put together grant programs. Oh, sorry. And number four, start a legal defense fund that offers free legal advice and pro bono attorneys to victims of police brutality and racial discrimination in the corporate world. Why couldn't Black Matters do that? No, you see, what the leaders of Black Lives Matter are concerned is buying a $1.4 million house in an all-white neighborhood. Give me $1.4 million, and next month you'll have a Black Silicon Valley here in Las Vegas. I would have bought the plot of land. I would have built classrooms. You want to know why we're not winning this battle? It's because of organizations like this. My people, you should have seen this coming. I pointed this out a year and a half ago. I pointed this out a year and a half ago. I even go back and look at my video. I even break down all the money that they were receiving. And I told you that the money would never go to the Black community. I told you. I even said the first thing that should be set up is a legal defense fund. Where is that money at? One of Spike Lee's best films called The Five Bloods, which I really love that film. If you watch it at the end, they donate $1 million to Black Lives Matter. Now, like Spike, they don't need that money. Black Lives Matter doesn't need another $1 million. But we don't do any research. We don't know anything. We just go whatever mainstream media tells us. We're not using our heads. We're not doing a simple Google search. Their mission statement was on their site a year and a half ago in front of everyone. It wasn't hiding in small print either. And then when real young brothers and sisters come out and try to do the right thing by putting together a school or something, we don't support them. We don't support them. I put together the six-figure PM program to help people get into tech. One young woman sent me an email and said, well, why is it all about money? I said, well, there has to be some tuition to pay for things. But she says, well, why don't you do it for free? Isn't it for the community? I said, well, I am doing it for free. I've opened the program where it will allow 4 individuals to get in tuition free. But I still have to charge the rest. That's right, Truth Seeker. That's right. Tariq called him out last year. But, you know, people aren't listening. People aren't listening. And us men, leaders of the community, we have to stand up and do something when we see these charlatans, these snake oil salesmen come in. We have to take a stand and say, no, I'm not supporting you. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see it's all about anti-BLM. I saw them coming from day one. I knew they were frauds. And now, slowly but surely, it's being dripped out, but it's being piecemealed out so you won't get all upset over the news. When you should be upset. When you should be angry. But your energy is low. Life has kicked our butts, and now we're just in survival mode, and now we're not looking at what these organizations are doing. BLM is not the first to pull this. They're not the first to pull this. So I want everyone to think about this. Keep this in mind. And be vigilant. Be vigilant when you see organizations come out. And question them. You have the right to question them. Where does the money go? Who are the members? There's no men that are members of BLM. So I want to thank you for tuning in today. And really get the word out. Spread the word about this. Because this is atrocious for someone to come in and to start this campaign that's funded by a billionaire, a gazillionaire, and then to take money out of our communities that were meant for the layman. That money should have been at $10.6 billion, should have been in your pockets and my pockets. You understand? I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all again for tuning in. This is Qesankh Ma Keparu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. My aunt is the beautiful goddess Heteru. And until my next video, I'm in the round.